Okay, know this game has a directional recovery system similar to Dragon Ball. In this case, you can simply roll out of the corner, which will avoid most setups. But the game also has a wall splat system, and normal player would think, oh, a wall splat, how cool, I can do an extension. But this dude Justin Wong in the first 2 hours of his stream, whether unconsciously or consciously, realized that this is similar to Happy Chaos Wall Slump back in season 1 of Guilty Gear. I don't think he actually thought that, I think he just instinctively felt it. So he just lets them slide all the way down to reset the pressure, in that way denying them the chance to roll out of the corner like they would usually do. And somehow, following the same instinct, all the pros started to do that. Here is Sonic Fox using Wall Slump to set up Captain America's mixer. Straight up bypass defensive mechanic in a beta. More importantly, the reason why he did it a little bit later than Justin was because he was busy conjuring Star-Lord resets out of thin air. And even though they were impressive, what's even cooler is what they evolved into. And I love documenting the progression here, because first Star-Lord was for resets and holding opponent in place so that other characters could mix, but then people realized that you can tag out just before his overhead. He would still do an overhead, but you can go low in order to create a pseudo unblockable. Or you can make him do a slide and then go for an overhead. Neither are things that are going to be blocked by regular people in the beta. No way. Yo. I want to give separate attention to Storm because things invented for her were incredible and mind-blowing for the few hours that we had in the beta. But when you look at them the second or the third time, it seems there were multiple ways to escape them. And it's only because it was a beta that people weren't ready for something like that. While Wall Slump, Ice Mix and Overhead tag, you just have to deal with that or waste resources and take a risk in order to not get hit. Here is Laffin doing all 3 tags in one sequence, as if this is nothing and he's done it thousands of times. Starting with the ice gun reset, worth noting that he had enough meter for a super and could have done a lot of damage, but instead he decided to do way less damage, but a wall slump gives him another mix, in which he uses the switch tag to do this disgusting lower head. The streets say this is fuzzable somehow, but alright. Could have killed here, but lets the blender do its job and turn this guy into a smoothie. Slurped, no straw. Perfect. If the beta lasted 3 hours longer, Doom would have been there as a Lord of Disgusting tag. Because we've got some, and it looks good, it looks stylish, and it synergizes with almost any member of the team. The problem was that it was too hard to get it, because Doom's combo routes and setups are not as obvious since they have to use his EX laser, or it has to come out of Doom being a support first, doing the laser and then switching to him, while intuitively you think that Aegis Reflector should do all the job. But the beam works, the left-right mix-up is there, the tip of the iceberg has been touched, and what's more important, people have figured out that this is possibly the only character that can combo out of a crossover mechanic, which is crazy. And on this note, I was watching Nemo, and even though he didn't establish this as a technique, he was close to discovering something dangerous by blocking crossover mechanic in the air, giving him more invincible frames, while still staying in his opponent's face. And if opponent decides to simply block, he still got his mix there. And that's not even me touching the obvious, which is Doom's zoning potential. I haven't seen anyone being straight up disgusting with it to the point where I think, oh wow, this is unbeatable, or oh wow, this is very annoying. But when you see the reflector blocking beam supers, you understand that, oh, it's just a little bit more and somebody will discover something, you know? But on the other hand, you can simply not try to invent anything and just pick Kamala Khan.